Let's take a look today then at HackMotion. This is a wearable training wrist measuring sensor used by golf pros, and you can buy it as a home user to learn how your wrists move in three-dimensional space that will allow you to control club face. It will allow you to hit with the right loft, which will create more distance and strike the ball better. This is the ultimate in home use and professional use wrist training. This is going to blow your mind. Now, if you like the information in this video and you're thinking of buying HackMotion, I've got a discount code, use that, it's coming up here, and also linked down in the description down below. If you're not interested in buying, that's fine, maybe stay around and you'll learn a little bit about what wrist angles are all about, which might help you with your golf anyway. HackMotion, what does it do? So let's take a look at it out of the box. Neat little box. Not much comes in this box. You get the device, which is 2 straps and 2 units. One is like the sensor that connects, I guess, to a free app that you can download onto your mobile devices. And then you also get a charging cable with some booklets inside. Nice packaging. Most of it goes in the bin. It's a very lightweight, limited in its kind of bulk device, but packed with super powerful features. So you wear this device on your wrist. You can see I've got it basically velcroed on to my bottom of my lead arm. And then we've got this little lead here that just sits here, and then I've got the next bit here on the back of my hand with the strap going around my glove. Simple application. You can also connect it without the strap. If you don't want to wear the strap, you can connect it to your glove as well. I prefer adding it to the strap because it makes it, in my opinion, that little bit more secure. Now, once you get the device, you make sure it's charged up just using the USB-C cable, which comes in the box. On the bottom here, you just plug it in. Doesn't take that long to charge up, lasts for a good amount of time to get your practice session. Like, I use it over days, to be honest with you. I don't even know how long it lasts because I don't think I've ever run it down. You download the free app and then you simply connect, or it connects to the app, and you're kind of ready to go apart from a bit of calibration. So in the app, you're presented with getting started, practice, data, learn, these, and support. Getting started gives you all the information you need on how to calibrate, how to set the device up, what it can do, how to train. It's packed with information. So there's a wealth of knowledge before you even start training in here. Now I'm going to hit practice. Let's get practice in. We've got measure and drills. We're going to measure to kick us off. And we're going to go in that tab. We've got club face control, analysis, putting, because it does putting as well, and analysis of putting. So we're just going to do a little bit of analysis to kick us off. Now it's asking me if I'm left-handed or right-handed, so either hands can use it. I'm going to put myself into my profile, and I've got it on my lead wrist. You can use it on your trail wrist also. So any of you see my Pro Sender video, a trail wrist obviously holds the key for so much, but also influence what lead wrist does. So I'm going to use lead wrist predominantly for this video because it's the one I kind of measure the most. But if you want to use trail wrist as well, you can, which is super clever. Now I hit start and I'm gonna recalibrate. So calibration's simple. You put it in one position here, then you put it in the next position, and you're basically, as you can see, ready to go. So this is what's so clever with this device. So it's measuring, you can see there in live time how my wrist is moving, which is just so valuable for so many of you. All I'm gonna do now, and this is what I love about Hack, it just integrates. I'm just going to hit shot, so I don't need to pause or do anything. I can just swing around. Hear that audible tone? It tells you it's captured a swing. So for getting a device which is going to give you such amazing info, like pro level info, like absolutely teachable info and home training info on how your wrists are moving and rotating. The setup is literally this and this. Hit start, tell it what club you're hitting, off you go. So you can see it just literally captures. It's out of all the devices I've tested, it's one of the best for just capturing shots, like without the fuss. So let's have a look at a shot. The tab feature to kick us off. So you can see address, I start 17 degrees bent forwards, and then at the top I was 10 degrees cupped, and then into impact I was -6. So I've gone from extended wrist to less extended wrist to less extended wristing to hit the ball. You can also measure this, ulnar and radial. So it's telling me I'm 35 degrees bent down with this wrist at the beginning. At the top, so minus 35, I'm plus 7. So 0 would be here. I've hinged this much from 0, started in minus 35. And then at impact, I'm minus 31. So near the 35, but not quite the same because the handle's always slightly higher. It tells me my rotations as well. So how many degrees I've rotated and the speed, degrees per second I've rotated my arm. And it's also got my timing on there as well. Now I can choose to look at that in a graph form, which for lots of you, you're not. I love the graph form personally, because this is how I would teach. If I look at flexion, so extension, flexion, for instance, you can see I can just hold my hand up here. You can see it impact. I'm around minus 10 and then very quick into jumping up into pluses. So I'm coming in this way and then really flicking that wrist forwards during and just after impact, where so many people think they have to hold that angle off forever, which is not true. I can put all the lines on there so you can see the rotations. This one scares most people, but for coaches, they'll love this one. Then I've got the 3D option as well, which I could look at the moment. It's in live capture. So it's giving me all the information on my wrist. It's allowing me to look at the session trends. So I could hit, I've only hit 2 shots. So it's telling me the trends of the session from the top to the impact. That's flexion, extension. I can go into ulnar. I can look at shot lists and look at it in a graph form. Like, it's extensive. Now, I know lots of you are thinking, this all sounds great, Mark. I'm just going to show you this is where you can compare. So this session, I can compare it to an older session. I can add a comparison from different tour player shots as well, long games. So we could look at a tour player swing. Who have we got here? Colsaerts, Mark Wilson with a driver, Beef with an 8-iron. So I can look at his numbers and then I can compare it to mine. If we bring it back into tiles, we're going to be able to see the difference between Beef and me. So from comparison, which can be confusing as well. So now look, all of you are thinking, that's amazing. Like, that's so good. That's giving you so much information, but I haven't got a clue how to use that information, which I agree, it could be tough. So that levels the measuring part, which for lots of people, certainly coaches and more experienced players, that's going to really help them understand what their wrists are doing. But this method here is like what, let's go into the next bit. This bit's crazy good. So I'm going to go into practice again, but this time I'm going to go into drills. And this time it's going to tell me to feel different wrist angles. So I'm going to start drill. I don't need to recalibrate. So it's feel the correct position, this drill. So it wants me to set up and then swing to the top. Can you see that and hear that? I can feel that is so good. Set up position. It's testing me. 2 more goes, set up position. I'm going to do one wrong now, set up position. Oh. So I've extended too much. See, I didn't win that one, set up position. I'm going to DJ this one. You see, I'm not in its range. Move to the right range, and it gives you that audible tone. That's unbelievable. Hit the position at the top. So this is stage 2 of it. So set up. It's telling me what to do. It's training me. Make a backswing. In range. 2 more goes. Set up. I'm going to do it wrong this time. Too much extension. Love it. So this time I'm too flat by a few degrees. This time I get it right. There you go, in my range. 1 more go. Let's get it right again. Great job, you've completed stage 2. You can get the gist of what we're doing here. Like, this is unbelievable. So I can do it in a shot now. So we've gone through the training. It now wants me to make a shot. Oh, I didn't achieve. I was too flat, I think. Yeah, I was too flat. I was 1 degree out. Make another shot. You can hear it hurt. Just hear that? It tells me during the swing that I've hit the range. How cool is that? That is so cool. Like, I'm lucky I'm able to hit that position. Like, I'm not working on that. So again, it says make a shot. So it's telling me my top of the position, well, there it is. I need to get there. Too much, not enough. Hit your shot. Like, that's unbelievable. How good is that? Well done, me. So let's push this practice on. We're going to go into measure and we're going to go into club face control. So I don't need to recalibrate. I'm there. Now what I can do, hit a ball to record data. It's prompting me what to do. So let's hit one. You can hear it got it with that little tone. And it's telling me at the top, I was a little bit too flexed and a little bit too flexed to impact. There we go, in the ranges on those two goes. That is so powerful for so many golfers. I'm able to control the club face by understanding where my wrist angles are going. Not only can I capture that data live and measure and get an audible tone that tells me it's in X range, I can even hit shots and instantly see if I'm hitting those ranges. Where so many amateurs that you teach, they literally don't know where the club is at the top. This kind of training will turn their golf around. Now I can go into the data tab. I can select the right player. So again, you could use this with all family members or mates. You could set them up their own tab, their own profile, basically. If we look at today's two shots that I've got caught on there, I've got the addresses. I can look at the different shot lists. I can look at every metric. I can move this down and just choose what I want to look at in the graph. I've got 6 shots on this one, so you can see my trends, how they're moving over time. Again, look at your shot list, see what you're capturing. It's crazy for allowing you, so I've got full swings here. There's 4 shots on full swings. You can see my trend as I play around with it. Like, the data it's providing is ridiculous. Now, for lots of you, you might be thinking, oh, that is amazing, you can live train. The data is still quite intensive, but in here there is learning, there's coaching videos that are going to allow you to understand what different things in your wrist angles can do and why it happens and how to achieve different wrist angles and what kind of shots they might create. You've got too extended in impact, too extended, too flexed. It's giving you all the answers in here. So yes, it's a little data intensive. Yes, you're going to have to be quite a serious golfer, stroke practicer for this to work. And you are going to have a bit of a learning curve. But if you want to put the time in, it's going to give you all the answers for hitting straighter shots through club face control. Now, for most of you, and any coach, you ask any coach, if you get the club face under control, so get their wrist angles under control, controlling the face, people's club paths, they're over the tops or dropping it on the insides. They just automatically fix. This is the root of most coaching, and you can measure it yourself at home or even with your coach. It's crazy. So putting application. This actually helped my game. When I first got the device, what I did is I took it out onto my outdoor garden where I've got a putting green, and I hit a few putts, and it measured that I went into too much flexion on my backswing. So I would actually start with this lead wrist extended, I would flex it quite flat even into minus and then try and get back to somewhere near where I started. And as a general rule, if I miss my putts, I do tend to push them because that's just leaving that face behind. So I practice trying to stay within its ranges, and I feel like my putting is more solid. It allowed me to look at my putting in a way that I'd never looked at it before by measuring not only this angle and rotations, but obviously this one as well, which was directly influencing where the club face, how it was delivered, how I struck the ball, where the ball was going. It's got the putting device as well, so when it comes for training, it's not only full swing, you're going to be able to dial in your putting stroke as well and hopefully get that putting a little bit more consistent. The live putting mode, where you can see, look at it, it's live. How much my wrist is going this way or this way and this way and this way is fantastic. I could stand over the putts and I could basically say, oh, I want my wrist extended this much, I want to hold the handle up this high, and measure it all. Find my optimum position and practice staying in it. So the pricing of HackMotion is based around one device. So you just buy one wearable device that you see me wearing, but then there are 3 software possibilities depending on where you want to go with the data. We have the Core, the Plus, and the Pro. So if you just want to control wrist angles and consistency of swing, Core's going to be good enough. And that comes in at around €300 with conversion prices coming up. Then we have the Plus, that starts at around €500. This is a total package, so you can do putting with this, you can work on wrist angles. It's really for optimizing your whole game. And then up near €1,000, we have the Pro version, and this is the one really the pros would buy to teach with. Really lets you drill down into all the data, gives you all the features. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a list of their features of what it does and doesn't do, because there's so many up on the screen. You just pause the screen and look at which ones you want in relationship to Core, Plus and Pro. My advice, I would probably be starting at Core or Plus if you want to go a bit deeper. I think the putting's brilliant with this. But remember, with whatever option you go for, use my discount code. It will give you the best possible price. So what are some of the cons with HackMotion? Well, it's quite data intense, where that I think is an absolute plus. If I gave this to my mum and dad, I don't think they would really use it. They just wouldn't want to get into the data side of it. They wouldn't want to go down that rabbit hole. There is going to be a bit of a learning curve. As coming for as simple as just setting your wrist, as you saw in the live demonstration, I think that's valuable to anybody, but the calibration, setting it up, you know, you need to be happy on your tablet and happy that there's going to be numbers thrown at you. So some of the cons, or one of the cons I would say, is that it's definitely not for everyone. People watching this video, you're going to say it's too expensive, and I get it. If you think this is too expensive, basically, I'm a golf coach who's coached for years. This is mega cheap for what it delivers. If I wasn't a golf coach and I was someone who just enjoyed my golf and wanted something maybe just to help me, yeah, it's too expensive. Remember the discount code as well if you want it to be slightly cheaper. So it's too expensive if you don't want to learn. If you do want to learn, this is priceless, like crazy, crazy cheap for the level of information it gives you. And for golf coaches out there, if you haven't got one of these in your armory, what are you doing? For the amount of money it costs you and what you could then charge for having longer sessions with people where you get into more depth and analysis with them, unbelievably cheap. So I get it's too expensive for lots of you watching, I get that. But for anyone who wants the data and wants to improve, it's priceless. It's ridiculously cheap. Could it help your golf game? Yes, it could help everybody's golf game. It helped mine. Is it too hard for most people to use? It's going to be quite complicated for lots of people to use. I think the drills part of the app could grow out a little bit more. I'd like to see drills where we're measuring at different stages, maybe halfway back, those kind of ideas. And I think it will come and it will develop. Is it worth the money for people who want to learn? Unbelievably, yes. Will it improve your driver, your irons, your wedges, your putting? Absolutely. Will it teach you about your golf swing in a way like never before? Yes. It's giving you an audible, a tactile feel of something I teach golfers day in, day out to make them literally better golfers. It's doing it. You could work it with yourself or with another coach. I'm loving that. HackMotion, I've used it for a while, the older version, newer version. I think the app is as good as anything, and the learning curve with it is slightly slow, but once you get going, you're going to learn a lot about your golf. Now, if you want to learn more about these kind of ideas, check this video out, because this wearable is amazing for transition measuring.